The Watchman of Doom is undoubtedly a bringer of doom in the Skibidi fandom, seeing as he's got one of the most impressive attack potencies in the entire series, and his TV stats and durability are just straight up over the top. But what if I told you that, despite all his stats and crazy showings, there are still some underrated characters out there strong enough to match his strength, or in some cases even strong enough to defeat him? Now, this wouldn't be a 100% fact, but you'll find the characters on this list to be built different, and honestly, quite broken as well. So, without wasting any more time, let's get right to it. The first character we've got on the list is the Counter Titan. If you're looking for that one underrated character in all of the Skibidi multiverse, this is definitely our guy. I mean, his potential and overall stats are just completely ridiculous. If he went headfirst against the Watchman, he'd be able to hold his own, no doubt. We're talking about someone who took on both Dom's TV and the camera without much effort. So yeah, this might just be a piece of cake. However, it is a fact that the Watchman of Doom still has an insane amount of damage, and a couple of shots might be enough to take the Counter down. But despite this, I believe the Counter would win this fight 70% of the time. The reason for this is his insane ability to copy or mimic any weapon of his opponent. Together with their abilities, the Watchman has crazy blasters, the Counter could copy them. Add in the fact that he's got regeneration and better feats, and I think he'd stand a pretty good chance. Next is the Toilet Emperor, and this one is not even close. The Watchman of Doom is quite powerful due to his insane damage and one-shotting capabilities, but the Emperor still slams here regardless. This guy was able to take on the entire battle armor gang hands down, and he wasn't even going all out. Imagine what he'd do to the Watchman at full strength. This fight would probably end in a couple of seconds. It's not even close. Some might argue the Watchman has the Doom Blade, which packs a huge punch, not gonna lie. But the Emperor is just better. When it comes to attack potency, the Emperor outscales, not to mention durability and that huge size difference. But keep in mind, this lineup isn't necessarily based on overall strength, but on how well their counters or abilities would work on the Watchman of Doom, and how well they do in a 1v1. And that's why we've got the Pencil Woman. And this is where things start to get really good. You see, the Pencil Woman is one unique character in the Skibidi multiverse, and believe it or not, she really knows how to get the job done. If she went head-on against the Watchman, things wouldn't go that smoothly. 'Cause, as we mentioned before, the Watchman's greatest asset here is his crazy attack potency. And since durability isn't one of the Pencil Woman's best strengths, it would have massive effects. But hey, she's pretty overpowered herself. The Pencil Woman took on the Counter Titan and was able to leave him in the dirt in their crazy battle. And it's all thanks to her Rage mode, which significantly increases her chances. You see where I'm going with this, right? She's walking out with a 70% chance here as well. And as for her durability problem, all the Pencil Woman needs to do is call in her Titan creations to buy her enough time to unleash her most devastating attacks. Someone who has an even better attack is the Metal Drill. Now, it is a fact that this guy hasn't had much chance to show us his full potential, but from the little we've seen, it wasn't short of impressive. From crazy physical strength to a decent amount of flexibility, the Metal Drill has it all. He was strong enough to take on the Anomaly Titans, and did quite well holding them off, so throwing hands with the Watchman of Doom isn't out of the question. Damaging him also wouldn't be a piece of cake. The only thing we're not sure of is the extent of the Metal Drill's durability, but since he's also a Drill Titan like Steve, I don't think they'd be too far apart. So let's give him a 60% chance. Another character worth mentioning is G-Man from the Skibidi Zombieverse. Yeah, one of the GOATs, and also my personal favorite. But hey, I'm not gonna go easy on the guy. So we're also gonna add in his previous TV Titan feats on this one to make things even better. Now the stats gets to even up. Think of it as all forms of the OG TV Titan brought to the table here. That would mean he took on multiple Jimmy clones all at once, has crazy rays with different abilities, is still one of the best fighters out there. And, to top it all off, the Doom Blade with massive energy reserves. Damn, the OG TV really is built different. But G-Man, on the other hand, is a monster among monsters. Not only did he take on the zombie TV, he even did it with the zombie camera and speaker all together. In terms of fighting skill, this guy has the upper hand. With the X-18, G-Man completely reaches new heights, and I mean that literally. This guy becomes a nuclear bomb, and last time I checked, that wasn't easy for even the strongest Titans. So yeah, he doesn't lack on the attack potency side either. His speed is also crazy, and judging by all this, you might think he's the perfect soldier. But Jimmy's got one problem, and that's his durability. And that's where our Watchman comes in, as he could use this to his advantage. but Jimmy still walks out with a 60% chance regardless. Moving on, now it's the battle armor speaker. I know this guy already got roughed up by the Toilet Emperor, but that shouldn't make this any less of an interesting fight. You see, the battle armor speaker is definitely the strongest of the speakers right now, and he's got some pretty good showings to match that. However, he's still one of those guys with low durability, and would have to be on the lookout for the Doom Blade and all that stuff. The Watchman would also have to be on the lookout for the unlimited Flex Works and Stoic Bomb, cause our speaker doesn't disappoint either. He's extremely agile, has the Death Scythe for cutting down stuff, and his blasters, well, those are still a work in progress. On the surface, both of these guys might seem like equals, not gonna lie, but it's not all that simple. I'll let you guys decide on this one. Is the battle armor getting clapped here, or is he the one doing the clapping? However, let's see how an agent would fare, because the way I see it, the future Clockman's got this one covered. In terms of raw attack potency and all that good stuff, it's hard to pick between these two. I mean, the future Clockman has enough AP to affect even Titans, and that's not even the craziest part. He has up to 5 levels of time stop, and you know what that could do, right? His time spider would also be of assistance here, and not gonna lie, he's still gonna need every bit of help he can get. One little mistake on his part, and it could all be over, even though the Watchman has one-shotting properties and crazy rays that make people off themselves. This wouldn't be a match of equals. The future Clockman takes the win here. Speaking of clocks though, the Monster Up Clock Titan is a very unique one. Not only does he have some drip, his time powers are just as insane. The Watchman has crazy damage, but he won't be able to land a single hit, cause this clock has the ability to read next moves and apply them in real time. So good luck to the Watchman if he tries to throw hands. Not just that, this clock can also stop time in a specific area and do whatever he wants. However, the best chance the Watchman has here is to outlast this guy, let him do all his flashy moves, eventually run out of juice, and then finish the job. But of course, that wouldn't be the case, as the clock himself is also a heavy hitter. With his axe and time grenades, he could deal some real damage. And based on that, we'd be giving the clock a 70% chance. The battle armor camera is up next, and what can I say? Bro definitely has this one in the bag. Even though the TV has those massive rays, there's only so much that can accomplish. The camera is a monster in the making. Physical strength, durability, crazy attack potency, you name it, and he's already a pro at it. The Watchman would really have it rough fighting this one, as the camera is a pretty decent fighter. Even though this battle would last a couple of minutes, the camera would be walking out with a 60% chance. Notice how goated characters like the Clock Titan, Tri-Titan, or G-Man weren't included. Well, that's just because it would be overkill. But check out this video to see what happens if the strongest Skibidi fandom titans went up against a nuclear bomb.